inspired. We're going to, since we have the time, and Senator Markey has now joined us, so we'll be calling on him in a little bit. In fact, if you're ready, I'll call on you right now. Otherwise, okay, well, then with that, recognize Senator Markey for his questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For decades, the Safe Routes to School programs has made it safe to walk and to bike to school by redesigning road infrastructure near schools and raising awareness about road safety in communities. Now, I know it's important because when I was 5 years old, I was hit by a car, turned into a projectile, and my fingers never did quite come back together again after landing because you're trying to protect your head in that incredible concussion which you're going to get. So it really hurts, by the way, when you get hit by a car. Honest to goodness, does that hurt? That's something you never forget. And so I became a big, obviously, I became a big auto safety guy, big street safety guy. I was chasing Charlie Cadero and Bobby Olson. They were 9, I was 5. I grew up in a deregulated childhood, okay, if you know what I'm saying. I'm 3 streets away from my house and I'm 5. And although states have significant flexibility in how they fund this program, they often don't have a statewide coordinator to help facilitate projects, particularly in rural areas where communities may have fewer resources to carry out this program. In Massachusetts, we've had a statewide Safe Routes coordinator for over 20 years, shaping a statewide vision for the program and providing rural and urban communities alike with guidance to implement these life-saving programs. Ms. Jones, do you agree that the Massachusetts approach to the Safe Routes to School program helps keep students safe when traveling to and from school?
Thank you so much, Senator Markey, and thanks for your leadership on the Safe Routes Improvement Act. Absolutely, we view the Massachusetts program as an exemplar in the nation. For 20 years, it has had that robust statewide coordination that helps communities all across the Commonwealth benefit from this life-saving program. And you spoke to Massachusetts' focus on rural communities. I want to speak to specifically why the Safe Routes to School coordinator position is so helpful at getting more rural communities involved in Safe Routes to School. Oftentimes, if there's a lesson learned, like here's how we do, if there's a lesson learned, if there's not a coordinator, it just stays with that community by themselves. In Massachusetts, the statewide Safe Routes to School coordinator created a series of rural case studies for Safe Routes to School programs so that they can be shared out and other rural communities don't have to reinvent the wheel, learning how to access this program, learning how to deliver life-saving projects for their constituents.
And Senator Kramer and I, we agree with you. We believe that a vision without a coordinator is an hallucination. Right? So you need a coordinator. So that's why I'm proud to partner with Senator Kramer on the Safe Routes Improvement Act. Our legislation takes a lesson from both Massachusetts and North Dakota by requiring state departments of transportation to have a full-time coordinator for Safe Routes for School programming. Whether you're a child in North Dakota or Massachusetts, you shouldn't have to worry about getting to school safety. And Mr. Orn, let's turn to another transportation issue related to North Dakota. North Dakota ranks 2nd in the nation for the high-quality condition of its roads. Your state has achieved this impressive performance in part because it prioritizes maintaining its roads in a state of good repair, such as ensuring existing roads are smooth and pothole-free. Well-maintained roads allow travelers to avoid expensive and dangerous incidents such as flat tires, broken axles, and that makes roads safer for all road users and saves travelers money. So, Mr. Orn, do you agree that prioritizing maintenance has led to a more affordable and efficient transportation system for North Dakota residents?
Senator Markey, first I want to also echo your leadership on the Safe Routes Improvement Act. Appreciate that. In North Dakota, we have just over 1,000 employees, and over a third of them are dedicated to the maintenance of the roads. So we do have and they try to get out and maintain at least a third of the roads every year. So we do put a lot of effort into maintaining our roads, and then we try to program the projects at the right time. If you get the improvement down on the right time, then it's less improvements you have to make, so you can go more with the maintenance project that you that you talked about, but we also throw in some flair of some other major projects we need to do, shoulder widening, reconstructions, and all that type of stuff. But I believe I'm very proud of what North Dakota brings, as you mentioned, with the second in the nation with our quality of our roads. And I invite everybody out to North Dakota, a great rural state.
Yeah, and again, I'm looking forward to working with you. I think you have the right frame. North Dakota spends 94% of its highway dollars on maintenance, just to make sure that they're there. And if I may just finish up my story. So now I'm out in the middle of the street, and I'm 5 years old. But in it, again, 1,000 pounds of steel, when it hits you, really hurts. So I'm there.
I'm hurt.
And all of a sudden, somebody picks me up, puts me in the back seat of the car, and they're driving 100 miles an hour up to the emergency room of the Malden Hospital. And there's two things your mother always tells you when you're a kid. Number one, if you're ever hit by a car, your phone number is MA40815. You're 5 years old. Number two, change your underpants every day, because if you're ever in an accident, I'm going to be so embarrassed if you are wearing dirty underpants. Okay, so now the doctor says, what's your phone number? MA40815. So now I can hear her, Mrs. Markey, we have your boy here. Eddie, if you give us permission to operate. But the nurses are starting to unbuckle my pants, and I know I haven't changed my underpants in 5 days. I'm 5 years old, right? And so I'm trying with my fingers to hold on, and my last memory is just this chloroform coming on my face, and I'm out, and I'm out. Anyway, I'm 25 years old. I'm running for state representative. I'm in my third year at Boston College Law School. And it's 5 minutes of 8, and I'm on the other side of town from where I live. And this guy comes up to me and says, were you hit by a car when you were 5 years old? I said, yeah. Did somebody pick you up, put you in the back seat of the car, drive you up to the emergency? I said, yeah. Did you ever wonder who that guy was? I said, yes. He says, well, I was a fireman. I was sitting on my porch. So I just did that. And you know what? My wife and I, we were talking, it sounds like you've turned out okay, so I'm going to go in and be your last vote tonight. You know what trumps an election? Getting hit by a car. So the only thing I'm thinking about, I'm in the Wayback Machine right now, thinking about that kid who got hit, right? And how fortunate I was now just to be there. And that's why I thank all of you for all the work you're doing to try to make our roads safer, especially for kids in school. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.